All right, what's going on, guys? Today I wanted to share some of the things that we learned and Ford won't tell you about the 401A Tremor F150. So I wanted to go into detail on some of the things that isn't covered but are included in the 401A package, and some of the things that are added on for the 402A package that aren't really mentioned anywhere. And wanted to touch on one of the packages, one of the only packages that we got, the bed utility package, and why it's so expensive and how much it truly actually cost. All right, so I first wanted to get into why we went with the 401 versus the 402A package on the Tremor, and that's mostly because of what we use the truck for. We don't use the truck to go off-roading. If we want to go off-roading, we'll take the truck to haul our toys to get to the off-road, and then use the toys. If you're using the truck for off-road and the overlanding, absolutely the 402A package, it's definitely worth it if you're doing that. Is that full wheel automatic? That's a killer option for off-road and for the front axle torque differential, and it's just something that we wouldn't be using. Maybe our next truck, that's what we'll be into. But enough of our reasoning for why we want to go to the 401A. Let's go ahead and get to the breakdown. All right, so I thought it'd be cool to share our actual breakdown of our pricing on the truck, just to show you all the options that we did get. So the total MSRP on the truck is $64,675. Now we're fortunate enough to get a plan through my uncle,
and that the Tremor is on the eligible list for using a plan. Because a lot of their specialty vehicles do not allow you to use a plan, such as the Raptors. Any of the Raptors, you can't use a plan to purchase them. And then I also wanted to mention that we went with the V8 on the Tremor because that's what we wanted, but the EcoBoost motor doesn't cost anymore, whereas on other trim levels like the King Ranch and the Platinum, this EcoBoost motor is a $400 to $740 upgrade over the V8 motor. So you could say you're being overcharged for wanting the V8 motor on the Tremor. But just wanted to put that out there. I thought it was interesting that not too many people are talking about that.
All right, and there's the options on the truck. We got the Bang & Olufsen sound system. We got the partitioned lockable storage for under the seat. And then we got the bed utility package. And that's one of the things I wanted to touch on today was the bed utility package. Online, when you go to build one, it's $695. And when you go to the dealership to build one, it's actually close to $1,000. It's $995 for the bed utility package. But we weren't exactly sure what was included in that. So let's go ahead and break that down now. So if you opt for the bed utility package on your 401A Tremor, you get the retractable step to get into the truck. You get this mat, which me and Dad actually both agree that this is kind of a silly mat. Actually is really slick and not really great for working on or really any purpose that we found. We actually did use this mat and these clamps, these points where you can put a clamp to hold down your wood to make our wheel chocks for the motorcycles. So that came out really nice. That looks really cool in the back of the truck. But these clamps are kind of rounded in the inside here, so they didn't work really good for holding the wood down. And this entire surface is slippery, so overall, it just wasn't a great design, in my opinion. I would have much rather not had the silly ruler, which I could see it being kind of cool for different things like measuring a fish or something. But as a work surface, I don't like it, to be honest. I would have much rather seen something like on our 2013 truck that we installed. Is this just rubber mat? That's the same material as the rest of the bed. This mat's a lot easier to climb in, doesn't hurt your knees as much, and it's a grippier surface to work on. And since the clamps were virtually useless on the bed utility package setup, would have just much rather had just a rubber mat. But besides that, I'll step in the back here. You'll get these box link tie downs, 4 of them. And you get the LEDs in the back of the bed, which are pretty nice when you're loading stuff up at night, which we find ourselves doing quite a bit. But basically, if you factor or consider previous generations and stuff, this is basically a $400, $450 option for the step. And then whatever you value this at, I really would value this at nothing because it wasn't that useful. The box links, roughly 100 or so bucks. And the rest of it is the LEDs. Not just these LEDs though. You actually, even though it's the bed utility package, these LEDs are included, as well as the 360 LEDs. But basically you're figuring $500 for the step and tie downs, the extra tie downs, and then another nearly $500 for the LED lights on the outside. So if that's something that you aren't interested in, I would say the bed utility package is certainly not worth it. But the LED lights, the 360 lighting setup is pretty neat. And I also wanted to touch on, so for this truck, since it's a 401, see if I can do this with one hand. Yep. All right, get that put away. But also included in the bed utility package is the assisted tailgate down, but it's only assisted tailgate up on the 402A. So as you can see here, I can push this. Where's that button? There it is. I pushed the button and it didn't do anything. So I have to manually close it, which it's not a big deal for us, but that option is only included on the 402A. And then I also wanted to share some of the options that you might not be familiar with for the 401 versus the 402A. Obviously, the 401 has the standard display and not the full digital display. And then obviously you have the leather seats on the 402A. But on the 402A, the Bang & Olufsen system, the base system comes standard, which I like the regular system, the Bang & Olufsen system, but I would not pay the extra money for the upgraded Bang & Olufsen system over the base Bang & Olufsen system. On the 402A, you also get memory seats, which is kind of nice because me and Dad have different settings for our seats, and we have to manually do those every time we get in because we're constantly sharing trucks and stuff. That was really nice on our 2013 FX4. That one is also a V8, and we'll be doing some drag races with these two in the future just for a fun comparison, and especially after we get the intake on the Tremor to see if it helps any make it any faster against the older model. Now this has the 10-speed, this has the 6-speed, so the Tremor is definitely faster and it feels faster, especially with the floaty suspension. It is really cool when you accelerate. Now the suspension sags in the back. It really feels like you're going really fast. But it'll be fun to see the difference between the 2013 V8 versus the new V8 with the 10-speed. I think this one is significantly faster. But supposedly there's more power gains with the cold air intake on the old one. So depending on how much we like the cold air intake on the new truck, I might get one for the 2013. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, so the memory seats is a really cool option. It is really handy for those who have more than one person that drives the truck. It does make it nice. It automatically sets up not only the seat, but the mirrors. But that's really the big stuff, is the display and the seats being fully leather. Overall, no complaints on the kind of cloth and middle. I was concerned about it at first, but it feels like it's pretty rugged and plenty durable. And I actually kind of like the looks of it a lot with the accents on the trim. I think it looks really nice and is actually really comfortable But we're really happy with it so far. And then you can see here we got the WeatherTech mats. That was one of the favorite mods, is definitely the, I know I'm kind of jumping around a bunch here, but thought it'd be fun to share. Just to go over the mods again. The LED lights in the back, making those white to match the rest of the car. That was always bothering me, that the license plate lights were yellow. So I do have a video on that, my previous video, and I'll share the link to those bulbs in the description below. But yeah, it's a beautiful truck. It sounds great. And I think one of our favorite things too is, yeah, it's cool when you walk up to it, the lighting turns on throughout the truck. So it like illuminates when you come up close to it, which is really neat. But the outline of the headlights is one of my favorite options on the truck. It looks so cool at night when you have just your running lights on and you're behind somebody, you can see it. It looks awesome. And also on the 402A, the mirrors are painted, which on this color, I don't mind that it'll all be in plastic, just the plastic and not painted. But I do think on various other colors, like white or something, I think it'd look much better painted. But on this truck, with the antimatter blue, I think it looks okay. I think it looks cool. But yeah, you can see just a hint of the blue in there. Probably not much in this lighting. It looks mostly black in almost every lighting except sunny. But finally, before we close out here, I wanted to show just the trick that I use all the time with going to the lake, is locking your keys in the car. So traditionally, if you throw your keys in there, on the old truck, we could just lock the door and then shut it and then go walk away. But that's not the case for this. You can see here, open it, it's still unlocked. So the only way to lock your keys in the car on these new cars that have the key fob that detects that the key's still in the truck, so you don't lock yourself out, is pushing the two bottom buttons on the keypad, and that will lock the keys inside the truck. That is the only way to do it that we found. And to get back in, make sure you have your keypad set up. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll hide you away from that so you don't see it. But then we get back in the truck, and there it is. Got the keys in here, and we're ready to go pick up the skis or whatever we're going to do that day. But it's kind of a neat feature when you're out at the lake or at the beach, but not too many people talk about that. So I thought it'd be cool to share that again. And overall, we're super happy with the truck. We got another toy coming in this week, hopefully, that I might be picking up here in a couple days. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.